All right, everyone, we're back again. About an hour after I recorded my first video, I recorded the first one at about 1 a.m. It is 2:52 a.m. right now. I had to look at my clock. I'm jerking my clock. I'm rubbing peanut butter on my clock. Yeah, so today we're going to be listening to Jesus is King, the most recent, or not the most recent Kanye album, not even by a long shot, not even by half a decade. Yeah, it's been 6 years, so longer actually, 6 years. I just finished up listening to Kitsy Ghost. It was pretty good. If I had to give it a ranking, I put one in the description. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because it was good. Good production, just didn't hit everything I wish it did. Didn't have as much as I wish it could have. Jesus is King. I know nothing about it. I don't think I've heard any of the tracks on it. I don't think I've heard any of the tracks on it. So yeah, I'm just gonna treat this like the other videos. I'm just gonna listen through. This one's 27 minutes, so it's longer. I did for Yay. It was only 24, but I did like a bit more of a detailed reaction than I did for Kids See Ghost. Let me know. Comment down below if you think I should do more detailed reactions like I did with Yay, where I had like an hour of rambling for the 25 minutes of actual song. If you don't, and I think I'm gonna stick to the more rambly parts because, at the end of the day, that's all I'm adding to this. I mean, if you want to listen to the album, I mean, Jesus, go on YouTube or Spotify. It's free, and if end of the day, I'm just idiot rambling, and if you're here for that, you're here for that, and if you're not here for this, go listen to the album. So yeah, I think I answered my own question. I think I'm gonna do a bit more rambling in these videos. I might go back, actually, because so far I've just listened to Yay, Kitsy Ghost, and today Jesus is King, or I don't know why I said today. Like these were so separated by like months, but I'm gonna listen to Jesus is King tonight. I think I'm gonna split Donda in half. I'll probably stop at track 16 because, I mean, let's be real, it is a 2.5 hour album. That's a fucking heavy hitter, and I mean, I've added like minimum 20 minutes of length to the videos, so I'm not gonna upload a 5 hour. Actually, fuck it, 5 hour reaction video to Donda. But yeah, enough bullshit. Let's see, one, two, three, four videos coming up. Vultures. I'll try to react to it, but I'm not fucking with it, to be honest. I know I don't. I might go back and listen to the albums I remember less well. Like 808s and Heartbreak, gonna be honest, I don't remember most of it, so I can't really properly tier list everything on it. Watch the Throne, I remember most of it, but I'll probably have to like skim through it a bit. Same thing with Yeezus. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the Graduation Trilogy, and Life of Pablo, I remember those shits fucking perfectly. They're like beamed into my skull. So I won't have to, I'm not going to record a video for those. But I probably will do one for 808s and Heartbreak. I might do one for Watch the Throne, depending on how much of it I forgot or remember. Because I did that before I started, was I like skimmed through, when I made the tier list. I was watching a YouTube video. When I made the tier list, I just skimmed through, and I mean, fuck, I remember every track on Graduation and MBDTF and the whole Graduation trilogy, really. But yeah, let's get into it. Make sure OBS, everything in OBS looks right. All right. Jesus is King. Kanye's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. I'm not counting the deluxe. 8, 9, 10. His 11th studio album. Let's get into it. Bam. Every hour. First track. Loud opening. Big gospel track. Okay. Makes sense for an album called Jesus is King. Makes sense. Gospel. And piano on this is really nice. Damn, that high-pitched gospel shit, that woman did like, that shit was high. Damn, this is a good track. Really nice piano. Damn. That track was fast-paced as hell. Oh my god, that was fast. What was the name of that track? Every Hour? Yeah, Every Hour. Good track. Really fast. Like, ridiculously fast. Gonna put that in A. Really fun track. I'll put it at the top of A. I was gonna say put it in S, but it... Oh, yeah, because I liked it more... I already liked this more than Kids See Ghosts, gonna be honest. And it's one track in. But, damn. Really fast-paced gospel. I mean, you could read the lyrics, you can see... I'm really excited to see the theming in this one, because Kanye has, like, a weird relationship with religion, where he's always been, like, very... I mean, even on College Dropout, he even had, like, Jesus Walks, and, you know, he's a religious guy, and that's fine, it's cool, but it's really interesting, like, how in Life of Pablo, how he used that to, like, contrast with his, like, superstar fucking hooker's lifestyle, you know? So, it'll be interesting to see what this album, what it goes into. Alright, next track, Sella, from Kanye. Okay, starting off with some organ, like a nice organ intro. That's fun. Ooh. Damn. The bass there is so fucking strong. Jesus. Sounds like a man beating on a brick wall. Okay. Got some gospel. How do you make gospel have a fucking beat drop? This is crazy. Damn. Damn. Really good beat. Crazy powerful beat. Like, boom, fucking hammer. Damn. Okay. You can tell there's a beat drop coming up this good. Damn! I missed when he rapped like this. This shit good. Damn. Fucking hell. I miss when he rapped like this. Like... Fuck. That was a good track. reminded me a lot of I don't know, on Ye and Kids See Ghost. It felt like Kanye didn't really get much chance to shine, and he was a bit more quiet, a bit more like subdued, and feels like at least on these first two tracks he's saying like I'm back, I'm louder than ever, and I'm using it to promote something I love, something I care about, and I think I'm gonna put that above Every Hour. Yeah, really good track. Really enjoyed it so far. Gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting to like this album very much, but because usually when a celebrity, especially a musician, goes through a religious awakening and starts doing like more religious stuff, it's like the Kirk Cameron thing of like they just become shitty at what they do because they're too focused on trying to like repent for their past and they lose what made their previous work good, you know? But it seems like that isn't true for Kanye. So far, really good. Really enjoying it. Damn. Here we go. You can already see the first two bars, just reading them. Looks like a reference to Life of Pablo, Bother Stretch My Hands. Okay. He's really been creative with the gospel use so far. Oh, damn. This sounds kind of like a late registration beat, like more bass heavy, drums heavy, you know? Damn. All of his verses so far are fucking heat. Okay. Damn. Okay. Like if Tyler Perry. Damn. Okay. Damn. Hmm. Okay. Damn. So far, he is 3 for 3. That one hit pretty good. Hang on. These two tracks here, Use This Gospel and Jesus is Lord. I'm just going to check real quick and make sure. Okay, cool. For some reason, he put the last two tracks first. Sometimes when the tier list makers do it, they do like a fucked up job. So I just wanted to make sure. Fuck. That was a good track. So far, he's hitting 3 for 3. All of the verses have been pretty good so far. Damn, wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Follow God. And as it goes. Damn, good track. The beat was really good. He kind of leaned it. The other two had a bit more of the gospel side. This one had a little bit more of his older, like, I mean, it's weird to say music-focused, like, beat, but, you know, when he samples so much crazy shit, like when he sampled the fucking, like, the gospel choir in the first two songs, I mean, this one had a bit more of, like, actual instruments in it and, you know, like, drums and bass and not as much of the, like, the sample, you know. But it did have the sample, this part here at the beginning of some pastor. I don't really know who it would have been, but yeah, good sample from that. It was really interesting. It sounded nice. The singing was good. Damn. You know, it's interesting seeing how much Kanye, how little he talks about his dad compared to like how much he talks about his mom, because he talks about his mom like all the time, and it's very clear that they cared about each other, you know, and it's sad that she died and all that. And I think somebody only close who can get you like off your I think it's I think this is a bit of a reference to like how, at least before his mom died, she kind of like anchored him to reality a bit. And then as soon as his mom died, he just went off the fucking deep end with so much shit. And I think that was an interesting thing for that. Start spazzing back. I thought the line about the Tyler Perry BET movies was pretty good because, you know, BET, they kind of treat their actors and their celebrities like shit. They don't pay them for shit and they profit off black people. And I think it's interesting seeing Kanye kind of reference that to his own life, where like his family, like the cousins who stole his laptop, the dad who treated him like shit, all this stuff. And I think it's interesting seeing that as a reference to seeing him reference like the way a producer will, or not a producer, but like the way a production company or even a producer will like steal your shit, jack your money, all this stuff. I think it's cool to see him compare that to like a family, you know, only pointing out your flaws. That's an interesting comparison. I like it. Again, he played into the God theming with the whole "It ain't Christ-like" being like the the chorus, like the "It ain't Christ-like." That was fun, but I think it's But yeah, this part. But nobody ever tell you when you're being like Christ. I think that was interesting. This whole section was interesting. I really liked it. Really liked it. Good track. So far, 3 for 3. Good tracks. Let's hope it keeps going. Close on Sunday, track 4. Closed on Sunday, you're my Chick-fil-A. No, don't read ahead. Really interesting beat. It's like a solemn guitar type thing. And like an acapella over it. Oh my god. I drank too much water. That shit coming up in my throat. The way he delivered it was so funny. Chick-fil-A. His delivery is really nice here. It's like more the singing Kanye. I really like that. That final delivery of Chick-fil-A was really funny. It was a good one. Didn't really hit like the first 3, but it was still good. Close on Sunday. I'm gonna put it in A. Good, pretty good. Also, the ending was pretty funny. I'm hoping he does more stuff in this album. Like, I'm hoping he hits more wild shit. How do I put it? Like how all of his, even his shorter albums, like Ye, he still hits like pretty hard on his theming of, like he'll, God, how do I put it? He'll have like a theme he sticks to really heavily, and You know, like in Yay, it was bipolar disorder. In Life of Pablo, it was choosing between the fucking, you know, his family, his worldly life, and like the crazy Hollywood highlights and shit. But yeah, so far really liking the album. Close on Sunday. I'd say it's probably my least favorite track right now. It's good. It's just not. It didn't hit too hard. But let's see. On God. Let's see what that track is. What the fuck is this 2013 instrumental? Okay. What? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like the beat. Okay. Okay. Sorry to pause it before it's done. He played the fucking the Yopia, you want to get over here? That fucking audio from Fresh Prince. That's funny. Oh my god. I'm gonna go ahead and start talking and look at their yeah, pretty good one. Fuck, that was good. 13th Amendment line was a bit weird. Where was it? Hang on, I think I might have just misread it probably. 13th Amendment gotta end it. I hope 13th Amendment was the one that ended slavery, right? Or was that the? Hang on, 14th. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna Google 13th Amendment. Yeah, abolish slavery. Okay. I hope he means glad we ended slavery. But this is also the Kanye who said slavery was a choice like 2 albums ago, so hope he meant that in a good way. So he's talking about how, like, you know, how he used to think religion was like a job, and he, devil on my soul, I can't lie, all that. Really interesting. I think this section where he's like, bleach my hair for every time I could have died, but I survived. I mean, this whole section, it sounds like he's kind of just praising God for his life and, you know, getting to live through all the crazy shit he's lived through. Because, I mean, when you think about it, Kanye's lived, like, the craziest fucking life any human being has ever lived. And all the crazy bullshit he's been through. Jesus Christ. So much crazy bullshit that man has lived through. He's lived through, like, 5 trillion Kardashians. He's lived through hell. And, you know, I mean, I may not like who he is now as a person, but goddamn, he has lived through a fucking lot. So, yeah, I'm going to put that track on God. I'm going to put it... I think I'm going to move... I think I'm going to move these guys down to B, because so far this album is good and I'm liking it. It's just not hitting the like the insanely high highs of graduation and of the graduation trilogy and all this stuff that I put up here. It's just not quite hitting the high highs of it, so we'll see. I'll let the instrumental finish out. That's fine. Next up, Everything We Need. Ty Dolla $ign singing. Really good singer. Okay. This is a fun track. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Good track. I'm not gonna lie. The first 3 tracks on this album hit like a motherfucker, and everything else has been a bit mid. It's been good. It's kind of the Life of Pablo thing where some individual tracks may be just like fine, but when you add them all together, it's like a fucking journey. So I'm hoping that's what this is. And so far, it seems like it because they've all been a bit different. Like that was him just like talking about how he has everything he needs in his life. It was pretty good. Yeah, not really much to say on it, to be honest. It was pretty good, though. It was a pretty good track. Yeah, track 7, Water. Oh, damn. This beat is different. Kind of reminds me of like a Tribe Called Quest beat, like something they'd have in the background. Ooh. I really like the singing in this one from Ant Clemens. This is really good. Fuck, this is nice. It's not really crazy. It's just kind of hitting like a little bit more intense than like lo-fi, but that same feeling of just like chilling with it, you know? Really interesting delivery from Kanye here. It's like intentionally robotic. Damn. That was a weird ass verse. Jesus. Jesus. uh, This is I think it was Ant Clemens on Kids See Ghost did some of the background vocals, and yeah, it was him because he did. Sounds like him now, and it's really good. Okay, Kanye back in. Or no, that's Ant Clemens. I really like the beat on this one. Damn. That was a good beat. Really good beat. Probably my favorite so far. Water, I'm going to put in... I think I'll put it in S. Good track. Really good track. Probably my favorite on the album. The lyrics weren't really anything. They were kind of... So far the lyrics have kind of just been mid, but all of the delivery has been interesting. The delivery has been really good on all of them. Why did I put streetlights in skits? I think it's one of the ones where I drag clicked it and it just randomly grabbed. But yeah, fuck, that was a good track. Really enjoyed it. Fuck, that was good. Really liked the beat. The verses were okay. The singing was really good. The singing was really, really good. Yeah, so into track 8. God Is. Okay. Alright. Got like a soft piano beat. This is fun. Kind of reminds me of like newer R&B, you know? Like that kind of soulful piano, you know? Damn. Damn. Good singing from Kanye. I forgot how good of a singer he can be when he wants to be. Sorry for being quiet in most of this one. It's just been really, really interesting lyrics, you know? And I've just been reading along with it, to be honest. God, his delivery has been really good on all of the verses. This whole album, the deliveries have been good. Yeah. His delivery, sorry to keep hearing this, but his delivery on the verses have been so good whole time. Man. Okay, I think that's the end of the words and so far, or the verses and the singing. Damn, he's had really good delivery on it, and you can tell this is something the guy actually cares about, which is good. Fuck. I think if I was I think if I personally was really religious, this would hit like hard as hell. But since I'm not particularly religious, I don't think this is hitting as well as it could have been. And that's not on him. He's doing pretty good with this album. This is fully a me thing. Damn, good beat. I'm gonna go back to where is the beat drop from Kanye? Where is it? Here. Yeah, here, this beat drop, it was Kanye. It's really weird because you can tell Kanye has, like, fucking done his studies or whatever, or he knows what he is doing when it comes to gospel, because, I mean, the way he can take even someone like me who isn't very religious and can kind of pull me into that vision of, like this really interesting gospel sound of, like, I don't know how to word it. It's just such an interesting thing, such an interesting gospel way of pulling someone into like this sort of light feeling, like looking around, the beats are like these like ultra light beams. I mean, I'm not kidding, because I mean that's really the best way to put it, is like the ultra light beams he talks about, where it's like, we on that ultra light beam. It's like that, where you feel I feel like he's so good at making his beats that when he hits those like ultra light beams, I guess is a good way to put it, it it gives this feeling that is so unique, because even though I'm not really a religious person, it still hits that feeling, that if you're, I mean, when I was younger and I was, still religious and everything, I really would feel like the gospel and shit and the music, because I took like church piano lessons when I was a kid and that kind of thing, and even though as I got older, I realized it's not the God that does it. It's the production. It's the music. And Kanye could very effectively do that, and he does it at this beat drop. He does it damn near perfectly. God is. I gotta say, I think I think it's the best track on the album so far. Yeah, pretty good track. I'm gonna go and listen to that beat drop real quick, because it hits. I mean, yeah, that beat drop was fucking perfect. I mean, for as much as Kanye is like batshit insane and doing crazy shit and like fucking Kardashians on Twitter, it's like he hits like a fucking, like, I'm gonna move Sella down to A, actually, now that I think about it. He hits like a fucking demon when he wants to, and all of his beats hit like a fucking pile of brick hammers. And yeah, good track, really good track. Next up, track number 9, Hands On. Let's hear it. Okay. He's doing more like vocal effects with this one. Hmm. Okay. On site? But okay. Okay. He I feel like this track he's making you focus on the lyrics a bit more, because the beat is pretty simple, and sorry for not talking much. I've just been looking at the lyrics. Okay. Okay. Beat change. That was hard. Ooh, good singing from Fred Hammond. Good singing. Hmm. Okay, that was an interesting track. Vocals were real. The vocals on this whole album have been really good. I'm gonna put it in B. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It just didn't hit too hard. It was okay though. Yeah, I don't really have much to say for that one. It was okay. I liked it. Next up, Use This Gospel. Okay. Weird beat. Damn. Okay. It's like an acapella type thing, but he put like a bass, like a really heavy bass under his voice. It's interesting. Beat on this one is interesting. I think this is Clips singing here or rapping. Okay. I really like the beat on this one. It's weird, but it hits pretty hard. Damn. Mary Manilos. Okay. Oh shit! I read Kenny G in the bottom right. This is actually Kenny G playing saxophone right now. Okay. Damn. He's a good sax player. Okay. Beat changed again. Oh. Damn. It was a good beat. You saw me pull it up and put it into A. Yeah, that was a good one. I think the problem I'm having with this album so far is it's hard to put myself in the shoes of someone who's really truly religious like he is in this album, and because of that, it's a bit hard to find it interesting when the whole album so far has basically just been gospel praising the Lord. And that's fine if you're religious. This was probably made for you, and you'll probably have a better time with it. I'm really enjoying it. It's just a bit boring when compared to his other stuff, like lyrically and all that. Where, most of his other albums, I'll read through the lyrics and just be fucking captivated. But this one hasn't really done that to me. It is a good album though. If I was a bit more into the subject, with God and praise and all that, I think I'd be a bit more. I think I'd be a lot more fucking into it, to be honest. But yeah, I'll put that in A. Probably top of A. That was a good one. Yeah, Jesus is Lord. Final track. Okay. He's got like a brass background. That's fun. Damn. The beat is really nice. Damn. Damn. That was a weird track to end the album on. It was only 50 seconds. That was probably my favorite. That probably was my favorite track of the whole thing, yeah. Straight up into S it goes. Good track. Damn, that was a lot better. Fuck. That was really good. I kind of want to put all of these three into A because none of them hit me as hard as like anything up here. None of these hit me as hard as that. Even why did I put Kid See Ghost up into S? That shit going down to A. Wait. Oh, I didn't put. Yeah, I'll put Kid See Ghost in best track on the album, so that way I don't have to give it a ranking. But yeah, I don't think I can justify putting honestly the stuff from Ghost Town and Wouldn't Leave. I think. Yeah, I think I have to. Because I liked all the stuff from Jesus is King. It just, none of it hit as hard for me. And, I don't know, man. Ghost Town can stay in a S. But, I think I'll leave Jesus is Lord in A, or in S, sorry. But, yeah, I gotta, I don't know. They just didn't hit as hard for me as everything else in S, and I don't think I can justify putting it up there, I didn't put very much of stuff from a College Dropout. I didn't put most of the stuff, honestly, because looking at it, like, Spaceship, I mean, that shit belongs in S. That should belong up there. Breathe In, Breathe Out. If you iced up. I mean, all Slow Jams, that's the best track of the album. Well, All Falls Down is better, but yeah, I think I need to go back and listen to everything more because none of us hit in quite the same way. Yeah, Jesus is King though. I gotta put the whole thing in A, to be honest. It was all good, but which one is Jesus? Yeah, I'll put that one up there. So far yeah, Jesus is Lord is good. Jesus is Lord is probably the best track of the album, and it's 49 seconds, and it's an instrumental. It's mostly an instrumental. It feels like an intro, to be honest. I don't know why it was the last track. It feels like an intro. But, yeah, overall, good album, really good production. Probably I would say probably the best of like these three albums. You know, yeah, Kids See Ghost and Jesus Is King. They're kind of together on their own weird thing, and I think Jesus Is King is probably the best of these three. I think Yay, at its best, is better than Jesus Is King, but it's still okay. It's not a bad album. Kids See Ghost is probably the worst of the three, but it's just because nobody really had a chance to shine on it. And Jesus Is King, Kanye did have a chance to shine a bit more with his verses. I really enjoyed the verses he had were all pretty good. I don't think there was anything bad on the album, and that's really all you can ask for with a Kanye album is nothing bad. And I think now the next step is going to be listening to Donda. I think I'll record the first half or quarter, however far I get into it. We are at 52 minutes of recording for Jesus Is King. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed a lot of it. I really did enjoy it. Honestly, the first three tracks, if it was a shorter, like I don't know. Kanye was kind of weird in this time. He kind of put out three albums. That really should have been like one, maybe two. Oh my god, I just cracked my back. I'm gonna move back a bit in my chair. Jesus Is King was okay. I didn't hate it. It was alright. You know? I think overall I'm gonna give the album the problem is it leaves you wanting more, especially in the subject matter, because I mean, you know, if you're religious, this is probably a 10 out of 10 for you, because the thing that always gets me with Kanye is a lot of the subject matter he talks about in his songs, they'll hit so hard and they'll get so... I'm autistic as hell, so I can really get... When a song, like, means a lot to me, I really get into it. And Jesus Is King, I just couldn't do that, and it's unfortunate, you know? I wish I could, but I didn't, and that sucks, but it's an okay album. 7 out of 10. I think the best track is probably Jesus Is Lord, and that one, I think I'd probably put it in S. It was a good track. It was just so short. It was good, though. It was really good, though. And next up, I'm going to be listening to Donda. Donda's going to be probably 2 videos because it's just so long. It is an hour. It is 2 hours and 10 minutes. So... When I finish recording my video about Donda, it'll probably be like 6 hours, or probably realistically 3 to 4 hours. It's 3:46 a.m. right now. I think I'll record the first half of the Donda video, and I think I'll have to split it in half because it's so fucking long, and I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. I've heard a lot that it's like the best of his newer albums, like for me, honestly, I listened to Life of Pablo, and I heard so much about how the albums after were a bit of a fall off, and they were. The 3 albums after Life of Pablo just weren't as good. But it's hard to say that when it's like when Life of Pablo was just so peak. It was just such a perfect fucking album that you can't really top it. I like the direction he went after Life of Pablo because, I mean, with Life of Pablo, he really perfected the craft. He had a fucking perfect hour and 10-minute album. I mean, he truly hit it. He slammed that shit so out of the park that nothing will ever top that album. It's so perfect that once you listen to it, it's gonna make you look down on every other Kanye album. And even the other good ones, like, I would say the only albums that are equal in quality to Life of Pablo are, honestly, the Graduation Trilogy and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Because I Watch the Throne, 808s and Heartbreak, Yeezus, and all of the stuff he did after Life of Pablo, it's just not hitting the same. And I'm really hoping Donda will hit that same, like, peak. I think it will. I've heard a lot about how it's a good song. I've heard the opening hook of a lot of the songs. I've heard Moon and Donda chant fully. I've heard the first about minute of Life of the Party, and I really liked it. So I'm hoping Donda will hit hard. And I'm a bit worried because all of the tracks I mentioned that I really enjoyed are the first 5. So I'm hoping that the next 27 after it will all still hit hard, you know? It looks like it'll be good though, so here's hoping. But yeah, Jesus is King, good album. Wasn't really for me. That's really the biggest thing I can say negatively about it. But positively though, really really great production. I think this is the best Kanye production we've seen since, I mean, realistically, Life of Pablo. I think Life of Pablo was some of his best production. It was because it was the most simplistic but also beautiful, and Jesus and Yay, it kind of hit that. It had a kind of similar thing going for it, but the last 3 albums, they've all had a bit more of a generic is the only word I could think of. I tried to think of one in between the recordings for this and Kids See Ghost, and there's really no way to put it that isn't generic, but it's a lot less Kanye sound of like, when you listen to like, I miss the old Kanye. He has like a really unique sound going to him. Anytime he uses like heavy bass and shit, he balances it with like crazy high like synths and all sorts of weird shit and guitar and all sorts of unique sounds. And he kind of hasn't had that spark of uniqueness recently, and I don't like that. It's been a lot heavier of a sound, and if you like that, good for you. I hope you enjoy it, but it's really just not for me the way his old stuff is, and I mean that sucks. I hope Donda turns it around though, and I'm about to find out because I'm gonna end this recording and immediately go into the Donda recording, or at least the first Donda recording. Who knows how many I'll have to make, but 3:50 a.m. CST, yeah. I woke up at midnight, so yeah, I'm a little bit of I'm a freak. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. If you watched 58 minutes of silence followed by me glazing this random guy, I have a big ass brown stain on my shirt. It's from eating shit. No, I ate some fucking shit. I ate some jambalaya for breakfast. Bad breakfast, I know, but it hit like a motherfucker, and it was pretty good. But yeah, that's all I got for today. See you in the Donda video.